Hey YouTube, it's Andy here today. Just a quick video I want to make on a subject known, which is becoming a bit of a buzzword, as retail arbitrage. Now, what is retail arbitrage? Well, retail arbitrage is the act of buying goods, such as what you see here, although it can be anything from any sector, taking them from a local retail shop at a very low price point, such as these where they're on discount, where you can pick things up for as little as £2, taking them primarily to an online setting where you can take something very cheap such as that and selling it at a much higher price. How is it done? Who can do it? Do you need a lot of money to start up? These are the sort of questions that most people are going to have when they think about retail arbitrage. It's very widely being publicised at the minute, so if you're someone that's got a little bit of spare cash, thinks, can I do it myself? Here's a few answers to those questions that you may have. Firstly, do you need a lot of money? No. I mean, products such as this, £2 each, can be purchased in bulk and then resold quite quickly. I mean, one of these, within a few hours of being put up for sale, has already sold. So at £2 each, those 5, if you just bought those, £10 investment, I'm selling these at £9.49 each, so it's nearly £100 gross return, and I will be quite specific about gross return as opposed to a net profit. But that shows you what you can do, even if you've only got a couple of quid extra to spend. So now, what do you want to look for if you want to get into this and you want to buy a few things and make a little profit? Well, the obvious one is your yellow sticker items. These are reduced in the supermarkets to a lower price, and you can pick them up. Now, there's a side note to this. One of the things you will notice on these LOL Surprise Hergoals products, that sticker says that this was £4. To buy something at £2 that was previously £4, to sell that online, by the time you factor in your postage, you're not going to make any money. But these actually are worth quite a lot more than £4. And typical retail on these is sort of around the £15, £16 mark in shops. What often happens, although it's not the case here, is that was price can refer to a previously discounted price. So it may have been £16 original retail, it's then been dropped to £8, it's not sold, it's then been dropped to £4, it's not sold, and it's then been dropped to £2. So that was price doesn't necessarily reflect the original retail price. The big thing, I mean, even when I got into buying stuff in bulk like this as discount, the big question that came to my mind, or in fact it wasn't even a question, I just immediately assumed that it would be frowned upon, that the staff would not get annoyed at you but sort of take a dim view towards it. Is that the case? Absolutely not. In fact, if you conduct yourself in the right way, you can stand in front of the staff and you can be checking the prices on your phone to see what things are going for, and they don't care. In fact, the staff in my local store, which I predominantly buy from, as soon as I walk in, the lady behind the tills will tell me that they have items now in clearance, because it's not every day that things are cleared. But she knows me, and because I've built up that relationship with her, as soon as I walk through the door, she'll say, oh, by the way, did you know that over there we've got items on clearance? And she knows I'll go there and I'll clear the whole shelf out. If the product is right and the price point is right, I will clear the whole shelf. Do they take a dim view of that? Absolutely not. And that's something I was worried about. But the only proviso to that is the checkout staff can get a bit funny with you. These sort of products with the yellow labels often do not scan. And that is, for whatever reason, a problem with these sorts of reductions. And 70% of them will scan fine, 30% of them won't. And the override on that is to enter this really long code. And if that's a one-off item, it's fine. If you are buying a whole trolley load of the same item because you've cleared the whole shelf out, you are not going to be very popular very quick. But just stick at it. It's not every day. And if you're really worried about it, go to the self-service and do it yourself. There are workarounds with these things. It's not the end of the world. I want to just quickly go through what I've purchased today. Sorry, this was actually purchased yesterday. These items have already been listed, so some of them have had the labels removed. I will also talk you through how to remove the labels. I've got to be a little bit careful because I don't want to display the store that these came from. Not that I don't want people going there, I just don't want the people with ownership of that store to somewhat get annoyed with me. So at this stage I have the receipts here, and the reason I've got them here is to provide evidence of the proof that of what I paid. However, I will show a closer up image of them so you can view what I've paid and that it is a genuine thing and I'm not just making these prices up. But I shall now also remove them because it's not that I don't want to show them, I just don't want to show the company which they came from, which is why I've deliberately covered the top half of the receipts. I don't think there'd be an issue, but I certainly don't want that supermarket to say, you know, take your video down because you've displayed our IP. So, I find no slightly showing it there. We'll get that removed, but I will show a close-up of the prices so you can verify that I'm not just claiming absolute nonsense figures. So let's do that now. So with those out of the way, let's start with these LOL surprise hair goals. As I say, these are ones that would, I mean, when I was buying this clearance, there was a lot of people buying the clearance on the obvious stuff, such as the frozen dolls, which are clearly marked down from sort of £35 to £8. It's a big ticket item, clearly reduced. Now these were overlooked because it says they're only down from £4 to £2, so it's only a £2 saving. But check the retail price on these. They are worth a lot more than £4. And in fact, as I say, I've listed these at £9.49, and one of them sold within about 2-3 hours of me putting them on sale. So I picked up 5 of those. One's going out today. By the end of the day, maybe more will be going out. I'm selling them £9.49, free delivery, so from £2 to £9.49. Yes, that's a gross markup, so do take that into consideration. Do factor the fact that these will cost Royal Mail's about £2.80 to send these. So do work that into your margins, and also take into consideration that PayPal want a fee, eBay want a fee if you're selling it that way, or you can sell it on the Facebook Marketplace. That's probably a better avenue for things like this, because they are saleable. And if you go down the Facebook Marketplace, it's a little more hassle, but you're going to get cash. You're not posting them. The people will generally come to you. You could actually afford to sell 2 for a certain lower price and actually still come out rather better off. Another thing I wanted to say, just with these low value items, where they're £2 each, if that genuinely was somewhere in the region of what they were, I've had problems with these items in the past where, not so much this because this is quite a large item, but I've sold little items that are £2 each that are worth £5. In fact, sometimes cheaper than £2. But if they're only worth £5, by the time you post them, you're not actually making any money. However, if they're a nice small item, sometimes you can bulk them together. So rather than selling 1 at £5, let's sell 3 at £15. And then your postage costs are still £2.80. And my eBay is going nuts at the minute. If anyone wants to know what those notifications are, that is eBay, so you can see this is a genuine video. Right, next up is the Magformers. These were down from £25 to £6.25. I looked online on eBay, some of the sellers are asking sort of £35 for these. So I put them in at £24.95. I've also done a promotion on them, so if you buy more than one you get a discount. I don't think these will sell on that basis, but if they do, it's a bonus. So £24.95, cost £6 each, or £6.25 each. And these will go with Royal Mail as a small parcel, so the postage on these is very reasonable in terms of what the item's worth. So, I mean, these will go for second class sign for delivery with the option to upgrade it. So it's a nice secure postage method for myself. I know they're going to get there securely, and it doesn't eat too heavily into the margin on those. So there's 3, and the other good thing with those is there's 3. And when you've got 3 of an item, or 4 of an item, or 5 of an item, or however many it is, you've only got to list 1. But your quantity is that much. And as I say, what you can also do is say, well, if you buy 1, it's this price. If you buy 2, you get 10% off. If you buy 3, you get 20% off. If you buy 4, you get 30% off, or whatever you want to sell it at. And that encourages people to buy more. Now, this probably won't fit into that category, but I have other products which do fit into that category, which I will find in a minute. And people have come back and bought 4 of them, you know, in one hit, because they're taking advantage of that discount. But do I lose anything on that discount? No, because when I ship more than one item, for example, these are number 7 cushion foundations. I can fit 3, 4, 5, 6 of them in one box, and it still costs the same amount to post. So me giving you 10% off is actually saving me the cost of separate shipping when customers come along and buy one at a time. eBay again. So when we get into this realm, we've got, these are the bigger ticket items. I mean, these were retail 35. I've bought them at £8.75, and I've listed them at that one at 25, and the else just slightly more popular. That's at £28.95. It's nearly £30 off a £8 investment. The only proviso I would say with these, this packaging is very flimsy, so you need to factor in you're going to have to double box those. You're going to have to put an exterior casing on those to protect them, because if this arrives and it's all dented in, sometimes it wouldn't be such an issue, but certainly with some of the Star Wars and things I've got in the past, the collectors will just reject it and they'll send it back. The smaller dolls, the Anna dolls, these were £6.25, which may just be visible on the edge of the video. They've gone on at £25, including shipping. So is it all toys? Is it, you know, is that the only thing you can make money from? No, absolutely not. If I bring over here, these are toasters which I bought last week. Now these toasters were, I've listed, sorry, before I get into that, let's just clear up the gross returns on everything you've seen so far, which was bought yesterday. All up for sale now. The total investment to me was £59, and the total gross return on that will be £226. And now, please don't think, oh, that means you're going to make £170. No, because you've got to take off your postage, you've got to take off your eBay fees, and you've got to take off your PayPal fees. But still, there's a good enough margin in that to actually make a profit to make it worthwhile. I'm never going to say to you, you're going to get rich if you do this, because it's not going to happen. But what I will say to you is there is the scope out there if you're willing to put a little bit of time and effort in just to make a bit of extra money on the side. And that's what it is. I call this sort of a sideline hustle. If you want to get rich and you want to make millions, don't do this, because it's not going to happen. So going back into what we did last week, I purchased last week, it was toasters that was on clearance. There was a lot of items on clearance, but most of them weren't really in a spectrum where you're going to make a big profit. So I went for these toasters, and these, as shown, I'm sort of going to hide my eBay user ID and things by folding it over, but these are all sold. These were purchased at £8.75 each. I bought 6, there was 2 of each, and they were all sold between 20, I think these ones 25, 26.95, 25.95, so £26, £27 each. Within 24 hours of listing them all, they were gone. All sold within 24 hours of them going live on eBay. So on that, I mean, the total investment for me was £52.50. They were sold within 24 hours for £157.70. That shows slightly farther apart, but the reason for that was some of them weren't bought the same day. So although they were sold within 24 hours, they weren't all listed on the same day. So they were really good sales. Not massive, as I say, you're not going to get really rich off it, but there's money to be made. The other proviso I want to make, because it's something, these deals, if you go on these sort of deal sharing websites, I'm not going to name them because I don't know if I can get into trouble for specifically naming them, but if you want to DM me, I'll tell you. The specific deal sharing websites that share these deals, so these are coming up at £8.75, and if you went on the website, it will show you and it will say, right, you can get these right now at £8.75. And that may be true in that specific store, but you can go 10 minutes up the road and what was a deal in one shop may not be a deal in another shop. I mean, these weren't yellow sticker items, these were just items on clearance generally across that supermarket. But what was current in my local shop, if I went to where my partner's house is, her shop wouldn't be selling the same products necessarily. And even more so when you got yellow stickers, because these typically are store specific. Not all the time, but quite typically. So don't make a journey to go out your way to get them, thinking that you're going to get these deals. It's more a case of go and see what's available. I do it on the basis of I'm going to that specific supermarket to get my general groceries. Whilst I'm there, I'm going to see what's available. If there's nothing, there's nothing. If there is something, it's a bonus. Now, one of the things that will probably come to mind is, when is the best time to get the deals? I find restocking in the morning is when they put the discounts on. 9 a.m. for me is the preferable time to go in. That is when the yellow stickers they're either been applied or in the process of being applied. And depending on how sort of awkward you want to be, you can actually ask the person applying the yellow stickers, okay, what are these going up at? When will they be available? Can you do these for me? I don't particularly like that strategy, because the people doing the yellow stickers get very annoyed with people doing it. If you want to go down that route, certainly you can, but I generally just wait for them to finish what they're doing, and I'll grab what's available, pay for it and go. As I say, it's awkward, and these guys do get annoyed with people doing that. As I say, you can make friends with staff, but the people that are having to do... I mean, imagine having to type one of these out every product and having to scan the barcode on the back, create a new barcode, put it on, and you've maybe got... I mean, these guys have crates of items to do. It's not 1 or 2 items. They're doing entire shelves, and it is quite a time-consuming process. So, that is my introduction to retail arbitrage. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've given it a try and see if you've got any techniques that you find works for you. If not, hopefully what I've told you so far has been interesting and you've learnt a couple of things. Please comment, tell me what you think, tell me if there's any questions you want answered. I will do a follow-up once these sell, and if you want any more details, then please leave a comment.